All right, last one is kind of a interesting twist. We have a Elon Musk update. He apparently has tested positive for COVID-19, but also tested negative for COVID-19. Oh, you're nodding your head like, yeah, Lou, I got this story. I saw it in my feed, which happens
I'm
often.
agreeing to you. Yeah, that's what I read. You know?
I mean, it happens, man.
Yeah.
So anyway, the reason this is an interesting story is obviously because he has been fairly vocal about the pandemic in general on Twitter. He's expressed himself in a variety of ways around this thing, talking about inflated death numbers and all kinds of other stuff. And people have disputed some of the stuff he said, and others agree with him. But either way, he's been vocal. And now he finds himself right in the midst of it. And people are curious, okay, how are you going to talk about it now? And obviously he's not in a super high risk group. What is he, 49 years old? 50?
Elon?
Something like that. And he's not in an extremely high risk group. So chances are things are going to be okay. But at this point, the confusing part, he is 49. At this point, the confusing part about it is the testing. The tests that he's done, I believe it's 4 tests, 2 positive, 2 negative. And now he says, hey, something bogus is going on. The quote here, something extremely bogus is going on. 2 tests came back negative, 2 came back positive. Now, these tests that he took were rapid antigen tests that produce results within 15 minutes. However, they are less accurate than the tests that take longer. I mean, this is always the case, isn't it? And they can be useful because sometimes that option doesn't exist. And when you're trying to control the spread, you got to go with something that's quick. Now, I think the false negative, if you get a false negative, or maybe the other way around, a false positive is less dangerous than a false negative. Obviously, because if you, as far as spreading it's concerned.
Yes.
Although in the case of him, it might be the other way around because it would take him off the grid and he's obviously got a lot of work to do.
Yes.
But either way, it goes to show you that there is no standard here. Or if there is a standard, it's the long form standard, which is not really convenient when you're trying to fight this type of situation, a global scenario like this. How do you instruct a person on what to do if they got to wait for their results? What do they do for the next 24 hours? Because that's what he's waiting for now. The results from the more extensive 24-hour test. And we're going to obviously get an update tomorrow, and that one's going to be more definitive. But what about in the next 24 hours? Is it just, I guess it's a voluntary type of quarantine. In the meantime, was tested for COVID 4 times today. Rapid antigen test from BD, a company that provides these types of tests. Anyway, he's Elon Musk. I'm sure he'll be okay. Even if he has COVID, he's going to get hit with that high-level treatment. He's going to get the SpaceX treatment.
And he's probably going to invent like a COVID test of his own.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe he's going to deconstruct the current test or enhance it in some way. He's obviously going to be intimately interested now. As far as symptoms are concerned, he says he's got nothing more than the feeling of a regular cold. So it seemed like he got the mild version. The whole thing seems to be getting more mild for whatever reason. There's lots of people getting it, but fewer people dying. I mean, it could be demographic based. There's so many factors going on here, but it appears his interest in the matter is now more intimate than it was previously. And we'll follow up when there's more news on that.